Dr. Julian Conejo, I really want to thank you for taking time to out of your busy schedule while you're traveling the nation training other dentists. Literally, we got to pull you from a course to sit down with us and to help educate the patients. And, you know, I've shared with you some of the heart behind what we're doing, and our patients sure know, or our viewers know what we're doing, so I don't need to regurgitate all that, but I want to thank you. I mean that. Thank you for taking time to get on camera with us and share your knowledge to the patients, not to me, but to the patients, so that they can become more of a powerful patient. Do me a favor, tell me a little bit about, I know you're a professor at University Pennsylvania, yes?
Correct, yeah.
Tell me a little bit.
Yeah, I'm a prosthodontist from San Jose, Costa Rica. I come from a family of dentists. Both my mom and my dad are dentists.
Okay.
And I always were very attracted by technology. So after finishing my pros program, I convinced my parents to invest in a CAD/CAM system for us, for our practice. The bank wouldn't lease me anything at that moment. I was just coming from my program. Mm-hmm. And then once I convinced them, I said, well, I gotta learn really good this stuff, right? Because, you know, 12 years ago, those CAD/CAM systems were much more expensive than they are now. So I got into it, and I really enjoyed working and seeing the advantages that these had for the clinicians and, of course, for the patients, right? Then I started working in private practice and in the university back in San Jose part-time. So I enjoyed teaching. And then because I got involved into digital dentistry, started traveling and teaching. And then 6 years ago, we moved to Philadelphia. That's where Dr. Blatz invited me to join his team at the University of Pennsylvania School of Dental Medicine. And it was really nice to learn and have all the tools to do research and join his team. But also I thought that, well, you know, I know this pretty well, chairside CAD/CAM technology, and I have something that I could also help implement. And we started with a pilot study for a year, trying to teach our undergraduate students how to use these intraoral scanners and mill in-house and have the patient have the final restoration in one day. Mm-hmm. And that was something so attractive for the patients, right? Mm-hmm. And now, a few years later, we have a digital design and milling center at Penn, and most of the restorations done are with CAD/CAM technology. So it's been a really enjoyable ride.
So you've helped build that program out.
Well, you know, the great thing to joining someone like Dr. Blatz or our dean, Dr. Wolf, that they have the vision that the technology is not the future, but actually the reality, and this is how younger dentists need to be taught. So it's great to be part of a team that we all have that same kind of vision. And then I started, as he was saying, treating also other faculty members that perhaps they were great clinicians, but they didn't have the exposure to the technology. So we give them these additional tools with their knowledge, then things start to work pretty well. So I think it's a very, very nice feeling of what the whole team has accomplished.
Why did he originally invite you to be a part of the team?
Yeah, well, so
that's an honor.
Yeah, I started, lecturing mainly like in Latin America. And then I started consulting for some German companies that create ceramic materials for CAD/CAM technologies, and started to take their trainings. And long story short, I got invited to lecture in Sydney, Australia for the big Quintessence Symposium. So I'm like, well, I'm stoked, let's go. I told
it's a big deal.
My wife, let's go to Australia, let's take a week and enjoy as well. So I was seeing the program, and top speakers worldwide like Dr. Blatz were in the lineup. So I was giving my lecture, and he was the next speaker. Mm-hmm. So I remember we exchanged like the computers, and I'm like, hey, Dr. Blatz, nice to meet you. He said, hey, nice to meet you too, man. Great job, you made it here. And that made me feel like confident in a very kind of stressful day. And then we had speakers Q&A session. So it was 3 speakers in the morning, me, Dr. Blatz, and another German faculty or speaker, and I don't know, 600-800 dentists there. And I'm like, hey, Dr. Blatz, if I don't know, you help me out. And he said, yeah, I get you. Don't worry. So it started like that, very, very casual.
To mentor almost.
Yeah, and then we started talking. I told him that I was involved in CAD/CAM for the past years, and he said that that was something he was looking to implement more in the clinics at Penn Dental. He already had CAD/CAM, but only like in the lab side. And then that's how he said, here's my email, and we just started exchanging some emails, and a few months later we were there.
That's cool. The rest is history.
Yeah, exactly.
Congratulations, and I bet your parents were proud.
Yeah, they were. They knew that I really enjoyed the part of teaching as well, and where I was more involved only in the private practice, which is necessary as a teacher. You got to do it so you really know what you're talking about and understand what clinicians go through and what patients go through as well, and how you need to deal with implementing techniques that are kind of user-friendly for every clinician, but as well that has a benefit for the patient. So going to Penn, you have all these resources, and with ideas and questions and a lot of doubts, you start to figure out things that work not only in your hands but in the hands of many clinicians, and provide those benefits to patients is pretty cool.
Well, and how cool is that you reached this plateau of success, and then you were able to be providentially, it sounds like, but through your skill and through your acumen, now you're being recognized as a global teacher, and Dr. Blatt saw enough in you. You go to UPenn, and now, and I've seen this back when I was in the oil and gas business, I'd surround myself with people who've been in the oil and gas business and drilled a lot of wells before, and so you put all of them in a room, and you have all this wisdom, and yet something new would come out, right? Like you'd have all these smart guys that have been 20, 30, 40 years in the business, and then you start going, well, what if it does this? Well, okay, and then you start pulling it together, which sounds like what your team really has allowed you to grow in a new way that you wouldn't have been able to do before.
Yeah, absolutely. Joining a team that you have experts in biomaterials and research on bonding and different ceramics, and then I had my experience in the implementation of the CAD/CAM technologies, like putting everyone together and the contacts with the industry as well. That's what really makes the effort very productive. Yeah.
That's so cool.